The universe presents us with a huge range of theories, concepts, and research opportunities. Everyone views the universe differently, and whilst some believe there are more than one, some choose to not ponder the overwhelming vastness for too long, and some dive headfirst into all the latest studies and breakthroughs. We are all part of the same universe. Exploring the world beyond our homes on Earth can seem impossible to comprehend, though with every bit of research we draw a little closer to unravelling some more of the puzzle. So today, here at Unexplained Mysteries, we'll be taking a look at these recent discoveries. Astronomers detect signals from first stars in the universe. For the first time ever, astronomers have detected light signals from the oldest stars in the universe. The discovery of these signals is truly groundbreaking, as scientists currently know very little about the universe's early history. In fact, other than the Big Bang's afterglow, they have never detected any signal from the early universe. While scientists have been working with little knowledge of the early universe for years, what they do know is that after the Big Bang, the universe was a starless, cold place made up of radiation-covered hydrogen gas, known as the cosmic microwave background. As the history of the early universe has remained a relative mystery, radiation still exists in space today. Following this period of emptiness was a 100 million year period known as the Dark Age, where dense gas regions formed clumps that inwardly collapsed into the first stars. These enormous blue stars lit up the gas surrounding it. The hydrogen atoms began to absorb radiation from the cosmic microwave background at a typical wavelength. Because of this, scientists believe that the cosmic dawn may have left an imprint on the cosmic microwave background radiation as a dip in brightness in the spectrum that should be perceivable today. Finding this dip has been challenging, as scientists have unsuccessfully tried for more than a decade. Adding to the challenge is that scientists could not determine where in the spectrum they should be looking. It seems that a team has finally cracked the mystery using a small table-sized instrument called the EDGES, or Experiment to Detect Global Eeyore Signature. The antenna was placed in a remote region of Australia where there are limited human-sourced radio waves that may block the signal. The signal they found points to the origin of the cosmic dawn occurring about 180 million years after the Big Bang. A surprising characteristic of the discovered dip is that it was twice the size that scientists had predicted. This hints that the universe was colder than initially believed, as the surrounding hydrogen gas had been absorbing more radiation than scientists had previously thought. What this tells us, according to physicists, is that it is a sign of the influence of dark matter, as some believe dark matter to be the reason that the hydrogen gas was losing heat. If this theory turns out to be accurate, then this would be the first time scientists have detected the substance through something other than gravitational effects, despite dark matter making up about 85% of matter in the universe. The signals discovered have broken many previously held predictions made by scientists. And as we know so little about dark matter, these findings may help us get a little closer to the truth. Scientists discover 5 billion light-years away galaxy. Most things in space are unimaginably far from Earth, as the cosmos is expanding infinitely every minute, after all. But seeing beyond a certain distance becomes challenging due to the limitations of our current technology for viewing space. Recently, scientists were able to uncover a galaxy lurking an astonishingly 5 billion light-years away by employing a newly developed high-tech radio telescope. The team who made this fascinating discovery was associated with Australia's Commonwealth Scientific and Industrial Research Organisation and used the Radio Emission Australian Square Kilometre Array Pathfinder, or ASCAP telescope, in the Murchison Radio Astronomy Observatory. This location is unique because of the so-called radio quietness, meaning there are less radio waves penetrating the space, making it easier to identify faraway cosmic objects that are sources of radio emissions. James Allison said that, at many observatories, this dip would have been hidden by background radio noise, but our site is so radio quiet it stood out clearly. The team was able to use the unique technologies of the telescope to detect the signature frequencies of the radio waves emanating from the galaxy as they passed through hydrogen gas. The changes in the emissions caused dips in the measured signal due to the slight absorption of radio waves by the surrounding hydrogen gas, and these dips are what allowed the researchers to measure the distance of their astonishing 5 billion-year journey to Earth. This astonishing result was brought about by technology that has allowed scientists to see significantly farther into space than they have ever been able to before, which will provide crucial information about the nature of bodies occupying the infinite cosmos around us. Researchers hope that the technology provided by the ASCAP telescope will be able to be utilized to view galaxies up to twice as far as this newly discovered galaxy. Being able to look back 10 billion years is of a special interest to researchers because this was the time when the universe was undergoing peak star formation. The rate of this process, which is fueled by hydrogen gas, has mysteriously decreased in the past millennia, and researchers are anxious to discover why. The galaxy is several billion years younger than our own Milky Way, but still appears to have a magnetic field that is of a comparable configuration and strength to the field around our own galaxy. Brian Gainsler of the University of Toronto said that this means that the magnetism is generated very early in a galaxy's life by natural processes, and thus that almost every heavenly body is magnetic. The implication is that we need to understand magnetism to understand the universe. Observing galaxies at varying distances from Earth, such as this one, will allow astronomers to create a picture of how the universe came to be. Mysterious particles are slamming into Earth. Several years ago, in 2008, Pamela, a cosmic ray research apparatus attached to an Earth-orbiting satellite, noticed an excessive surplus of positrons in Earth's atmosphere. Positrons are the electron's antimatter counterpart. Antimatter is anything that is the opposite of normal matter, and when the antimatter positron meets an electron, they often cancel each other out and release a wave of gamma rays. Scientists have ways of tracking these gamma rays and can monitor them. Scientists and physicists have wondered about the origin of this positron surplus for a long time, and for several years they seemed to believe that the positrons came from pulsars located relatively close to Earth. Pulsars are rotating neutron stars that emit electromagnetic radiation. Sometimes spinning more than 700 times a second, pulsars whirl and smash particles into each other, including positrons and electrons. If enough energy is generated, these positrons can be flung out of the pulsar's rotation and sent across the cosmos, sometimes landing on Earth. But despite the popularity of this original theory, the new research team on the case believes that the intriguing substance of dark matter could be at work. Ruben López-Cotto from the Max Planck Institute for Nuclear Physics said, "When I started this work, I really believed it was pulsars. But these two pulsars actually cannot provide enough positrons in order to account for this positron excess." However, not everyone in the astrophysics community believes that dark matter is at work, and some are even accusing López-Cotto's team of misinterpreting data. Dan Hooper from the Fermi National Accelerator Laboratory is among the scientists still on the side of pulsars, saying, "I am as convinced as ever that these pulsars are contributing very significantly to the local positron excess, and very well could dominate it." Since 2015, a research team at the High-Altitude Water Cherenkov Gamma Ray Observatory in Mexico's Pico de Orizaba National Park has been analyzing and tracking high-energy particles such as these positrons. After careful analysis, the research team has concluded that the pulsars most often credited for the positron excess, commonly known as Geminga and Monogem, are not moving fast enough to send positrons all the way to Earth. Even though these pulsars may not be the reason for Earth's positron excess, the explanation should not necessarily jump straight to a dark matter explanation. Hooper and MIT's Tracy Slater both remain skeptical about the possibility of this explanation. Since dark matter is said to make up the majority of the universe's mass, Slater says that if the positrons were the product of dark matter, the evidence would be everywhere. The truth is that no one knows where exactly these particles are coming from. Pulsars may be hurtling them towards Earth, or maybe dark matter annihilation is to blame. The only way to find out is to keep observing, researching, and analyzing. Astronomers report the first ever wandering black hole. Previously, we discovered that a small community of astronomers believe that the universe could be made up of millions of tiny, bullet-like black holes, instead of the mysterious concept of dark matter, which has yet to be proved. Today, we explore another bizarre black hole discovery. This time, it's the first ever wandering black hole. And you guessed it, it is right here in the Milky Way. Moving at a whopping speed of 28 miles per second, this particular black hole is 5,200 light-years away, or at least for now. According to research, this black hole's wandering nature is down to a natal kick, a huge amount of reactive energy from the supernova explosion which created the black hole. Since this entity is moving at such a rapid pace through the cosmos, it's entirely plausible to question if it really is a black hole at all. Rest assured, astronomers have conducted ample tests to confirm that it really is. As you may know, black holes are extremely dense, and famously not even light can escape the grasp of their tenacious gravitational forces. Therefore, when a lens detects no light at all from any part of the spectrum, and measurements show a body with mass greater than is possible for a white dwarf or neutron star, astronomers can confidently determine the presence of a black hole. And this is exactly what they found in this scenario. Not only does it travel across the universe at some 28 miles per second, but this special black hole also spins extremely fast, scientists have added. Apparently, it spins so fast, its orbital speed is close to the speed of light itself. That is, the maximum rate set out by Einstein according to his theory of general relativity. We clearly have a lot to learn from this anomalous black hole and how many others out there might be wandering the night sky above us. How many more come close to the maximum confines Einstein himself thought possible? Every day we solve one mystery, discovering something new while creating new dilemmas for future generations to solve. Equally, trying to solve existing puzzles is by no means easy, and the possibility that there are things we simply will not know the answer to seems to scare us by nature. However, time and time again, science proves that there truly is no limit to what is out there for us to learn. In fact, it is only ever increasing by the day. Astronomers spot the youngest pair of asteroids. Asteroids, which are formed as essentially a type of space debris, also act as little flying time capsules that give us an idea of the elemental components of space throughout billions of years. Not only that, but it has been hypothesized that rockier planets, including our very own, could have grown from the accumulation of these asteroids over time, meaning that the study of asteroids could very easily mean the study of the building blocks of Earth and other rocky planets like Mars and Mercury. Most asteroids that have been studied were formed in more turbulent times of the universe's life, but recently scientists discovered a pair of asteroids so young that it took their breath away. These asteroids, which appear to have formed less than 300 years ago, are currently orbiting the Sun, and immediately became the youngest pair of asteroids ever discovered in the solar system. 2019 PR2 and 2019 QR6, as the asteroids were named, are essentially newborns, and looking at their inherent differences when compared to much older asteroids, some even billions of years old, can help researchers uncover the changes that occur in these flying space rocks over time. Because these are binary asteroids that stood out due to their strange elliptical orbit around the Sun, the find was even more exciting. Binary asteroids are asteroids that orbit together, and are rather uncommon, which means that there have been fewer opportunities for study and less is known about them, especially how they form. So, when such unbelievably young asteroids were found, Researchers jumped at the chance to observe them closer in the hopes that clues as to their formation would be revealed. After intense study and analysis, astronomers came to believe that the two asteroids came from the same parent object, having likely broken off from a larger parent body a mere 270 years previously. However, they also raised several more questions in the process. Many of the configurations of the two asteroids could not have formed in fewer than 300 years and can only be explained if the parent body was an outgassing comet. But that explanation did not satisfy either. Nicholas Moskowitz of the Lowell Observatory explained the conundrum, saying, "In the present day, the bodies don't display any signs of cometary activity. So it remains a mystery how these objects could have gone from a single parent body to individually active objects to the inactive pair we see today in just 300 years. Unfortunately, it appears that the case of the incredibly young binary asteroids has raised more questions than it answered, and astronomers are itching to obtain further observations of the pair to attempt to solve the mystery once and for all. Solar flares just hit Earth at nearly 2 million miles per hour. In an exciting recent development, astronomers discovered roughly 17 eruptions in a single area of the Sun, while 2 of these flares hit Earth at nearly 2 million miles per hour. One of the critical aspects of understanding the Sun has to do with coronal mass ejections and solar flares. A reason for astronomers to keep a close eye on these CMEs is that these eruptions may be able to create blackouts and block communication systems in just a few seconds. In early 2022, SpaceX lost 40 satellites a few hours after launch due to a geomagnetic storm. These developments prove the need for astronomers to take precautions. Sunspots have long been known for their strong magnetic fields and their ability to release radiation called solar flares. One of these sunspots, called AR2975, has been quite active as of late. Solar flares typically need about 15 to 18 hours to arrive on Earth. However, this time around, a powerful solar storm was created by a strong wave produced by a fast-moving flare that overtook a slower flare. The magnetic storm that resulted from this event produced a beautiful, natural show of lights that are usually referred to as northern lights. These lights were formed when the magnetic storm hit the upper layers of the Earth's atmosphere. This light show was visible all over the United States, from the northern states to Iowa and Oregon. This solar storm resulted in beautiful views, but larger solar storms can cause tremendous damage. According to SWPC, G3 storms can cause radio navigation problems at a low frequency and intermittent satellite navigation problems. Scientists have even predicted that a massive G3 storm may be able to disable the internet used across the world. Those types of storms can cause trillions of dollars in damage, like the solar storm of 1989 in Quebec. According to scientists, the largest solar storm ever witnessed was in 1859, during the Carrington event, when a stream of solar particles damaged telegraph systems across the world and caused auroras that were even brighter than the full moon. But what do you make of these interesting discoveries? Be sure to let us know your thoughts in the comment section below and help us by growing this community while working to solve these unexplained mysteries. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos.